All right, fourth grade, we are going to transfer our alebrije from paper into tin. Now, my tin, or my aluminum actually, is really, really thin, and I'm gonna be able to press my image into the tin. But first, I got a little bit of prep work I need to do. First thing I need to do is on my tin, very small with a Sharpie in the corner, I need to write an F on one side and a B on the other side. That's the back, B for back, F for front. I'm going to take my sketch and I'm going to tape it to the side that says F, because this is the front. So using my masking tape, you can tear it, cut it, whatever you need to do. So I'm just going to tear 4 little pieces. I'm going to make sure that my masking tape's not going on top of my drawing anywhere. So I'm going to put the tape somewhere where there's empty paper on all 4 sides. This is just so that my sketch doesn't move around as I try and transfer my image. All right, so once it's all taped, very important step here, I have to work on top of a magazine. The magazine kind of gives me cushion. My table is really hard, and if I want to push my image into this metal, if I have it on the table's gonna stop it. But if I use a magazine is a little bit softer and it provides a little bit of cushion so that I can transfer my image. So to transfer my image, I'm going to use a colored pencil that's decently sharp. I'm using a colored pencil just so I know where I've already traced. So my alebrije is in pencil. I'm going to use a colored pencil so that I know where I trace. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace over my pencil lines, but I'm going to press down with a lot of pressure. I want to press down heavy enough to where, you see how you can see the line I just did? So every once in a while, just kind of lift up the edge and check. You can always untape to double check, but do your first couple of lines, and then I'm even gonna just check that you can see it. So you can see that I can see the lines I just did in the metal, especially if I do them side to side. So then I know that I'm doing it hard enough. I'm gonna do this with all of my pencil lines. And I can see that I've got the image of my alebrije in the metal. Now, he's not done yet. Alebrijes have bright colors and interesting patterns. So what we're going to do to make this a little bit more three-dimensional is we are going to be putting some patterns on the back side that are going to pop out to the front. All right, let me show you a few different techniques you can do in your metal to create different designs and effects for your alebrijes. We'll start down here. The first method is the pinprick method. Pinprick is when you just press down with the point of your stick and you get these little divot marks. So you can make these go in a line. Okay, so that's the pinprick. When you flip it over on the other side, you can see that's kind of the design that I get. If I want to make bubbles, I'm going to make a larger circle and I'm going to keep going around and around and around and around instead. Okay. And you can see on the front side, you got a different effect there. Okay. We can also do line work. And that's what it looks like from the front side. Last one we can do is a full pop out. So whatever shape we want to fully pop out, I'm gonna do like this leaf shape here.
I'm gonna pretend like I'm coloring it in. So I'm gonna use the back of my, why can I not ever remember what this thing is called? Toothpick. I'm going to use the back of it, and I'm going to completely fill in and color like I'm coloring that shape in. What's going to happen is that shape's going to start to fully pop out from the other side. And that's what it looks like from the front, fully popped out. So those are some of the techniques that you can use when you're creating lines and patterns in your alebrije.
So when I'm making my patterns with my very fancy extra large toothpick, I'm not going to be on the front side. I don't want to be on that side. I want to be on the back side. So I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to do it from behind. So now I can start to add patterns and details. All right, so once I've added all of my patterns to the back, on the back side, I want to do one more thing on the front side, and I want to re-outline my alebrije. This is going to help it look even more popped out and three-dimensional on my tin. So now that I've finished on the front side, I'm going to re-outline one last time the original shape. All right, let's talk about your Sharpies here. We've broken them down into 3 categories. These Sharpies are going to show up really, really dark on your metal. These Sharpies are about a medium, and these ones are really, really light. So I'll have a picture up kind of showing you which ones are which. I'm going to show you how to use both dark, medium, or all dark, medium, and light together to make your best piece. So it'll make more sense if I show you on my tester. That's a dark Sharpie. It shows up super, super dark. My medium value Sharpie, it's lighter. And then my lightest value Sharpie is even lighter than that. So dark, medium, light. When we go to color our alebrije, you want to leave the spaces that you popped up silver, so it lets the silver show through. What you're coloring is all the spaces that are still flat. If you have the pinpricks, you can just color over those, that's fine. But if you got any big pop-ups or line work, leave that silver and color in the in-between. Now, the cool thing about coloring Sharpie on the foil is that you can blend with them. Sharpies do not dry as quick on foil, so you can see if I make a mistake, I can get rid of it, sorta. Not completely, but I gotta be fast. Okay, so I can't get rid of it completely, but the Sharpie takes a couple of seconds to dry on here. So you want to be careful as you're coloring not to be smearing your colors, okay? You got to give them a second to dry. But what that does mean is we have some pretty cool effects where we can blend with our Sharpies. So let's say, I'm just gonna come around here. I'm working on coloring in some of my line work. So I'm not gonna color in the parts that are pushed out. Rather, I'm going to be coloring in between those. Let's say this dark blue is really dark and I wanna lighten it up a bit. Well, I can come in here and get a medium color and I can start to blend it into my darker color. So my colors will mix and blend if I do them fast enough. I can also color right over top of it if I want it to get a little bit lighter. So that'll kind of change my color a little bit. So I can blend colors together. I could even switch to a lighter one and get it to blend even lighter. So when I'm doing this, I'm kind of coloring in like a circle motion. Okay, so try that out. You can always test something on the back of your foil to see what it's going to look like before you start coloring on the front side.